Home Grant Boss by Grant Boss, May 21, 2018, 9:34 p.m. I'm not much of a gambler. Sure, I've played some friendly poker games, and occasionally go to Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun to visit my money. But I've never been tempted to bet on pro sports. So when the U.S. Supreme Court decided last week in Murphy v. NCAA that states would be free to authorize sports betting, I wasn't that excited. And then I read it. The decision runs for 49 pages, including the majority opinion by Justice Samuel Alito, with a concurrence from Clarence Thomas on severability doctrine, and dissents from Stephen Breyer and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This is my idea of a great beach read. I'm a huge nerd. Most states have long outlawed betting on sports. Nevada allows such bets in casinos, and 3 other states allow sports lotteries or pools, but in most of the country, if you want to put down some money on Sunday's game, you need to find a bookie or offshore website willing to take your illegal action. In the early 90s, Congress was worried that more states might authorize sports gambling. It passed the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act of 1992, PASPA. This did not make betting on sports illegal. It prevented any states where sports betting was illegal from authorizing it. This got around the political obstacle of shutting down every sportsbook in Las Vegas, and it meant that the Justice Department wouldn't have to spend any money enforcing the law. It's never been a federal crime to bet on sports. The feds instead kept states from legalizing it. PASPA gave New Jersey a year to authorize sports betting in Atlantic City. New Jersey missed the window, but passed a bill in 2012 authorizing sports betting. This was challenged in court, and defeated. In 2014, New Jersey tried again, repealing its prohibition of sports betting. In last week's 6-3 decision, Alito wrote that PASPA violates the Constitution's prohibition on the federal government from commandeering the states to do what it wants. Over the years, Congress has found many ways to get around pesky constitutional constraints on its power. The most abused provision is the Commerce Clause, which gives Congress authority to regulate commerce with foreign nations, and among the several states, and with the Indian tribes. So if Congress wanted to regulate something, it would argue that the activity in question was integral to interstate commerce. President Franklin Roosevelt broke the Commerce Clause wide open, and used it to justify a large part of the New Deal. This reached a level of absurdity in 1942 when the Supreme Court found in Wickard v. Filburn that regulation of the national wheat market gave Congress authority to limit a farmer's wheat production for his family's own consumption. For 60 years, the court let Congress do whatever it wanted under the cloak of the Commerce Clause. In the 90s, under Chief Justice William Rehnquist, the court pushed back a little, finding that Congress has no authority to police activity with little to no connection to interstate commerce. If Congress can't force states to do its bidding, it can always bribe them. 1974, Congress passed the Emergency Highway Energy Conservation Act, forcing states to adopt a 55-mile-per-hour speed limit. In 1984, Congress tied 10% of federal highway funds to states setting their drinking age at 21. State participation in Medicaid is contingent on severe federal restrictions, or waivers from those restrictions. The Supreme Court determined that the Affordable Care Act's attempt to tie current Medicaid spending to states expanding their Medicaid rolls went too far. In Murphy, Alito finds that Congress may not force states to freeze their anti-gambling statutes. This would commandeer state legislatures, and conspicuously absent from the list of powers given to Congress is the power to issue direct orders to the government of the states. Alito writes, Congress could make sports betting illegal. It could withhold federal funds from states that don't. But Congress can't force states to do its job. With a restrained Commerce Clause and an energized 10th Amendment, the balance of political power shifts slightly from Washington back to the states. This could have tremendous consequences beyond sports betting, from marijuana legalization to illegal immigration enforcement. Uncle Sam can't force states to enforce his laws, but it can threaten to cut off states that won't cooperate. States are already doing some pretty stupid things. Take a look at California on any given day. But under our federal system of divided government, that is what is supposed to happen. Grant Bosse is editorial page editor of the New Hampshire Union Leader and Sunday News. Email him at gboss@unionleader.com and follow him on Twitter at GrantBoss. Business, politics, social issues, sports, courts. Grant Boss Weekend Top 10 Planner, May 25 to 27, 2018. We have made it to the unofficial start to summer and the holiday weekend of Memorial Day, a day to remember those who died in service to our country. Don't lose that thought during this 3-day Wild Quack Duck River Festival. Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, 8 p.m. 29th Annual Chowderfest and Brews. Sunday, 12 p.m. 3 p.m. Huck Finn's Hightailin' Adventures. Friday, 7 p.m. Saturday, 2 p.m.